So the last time I made bread, I used cold milk. So trust me, I learned this recipe I'm making now in a hard way, a very hard way. At the end of the day, I had a very hard bread because it didn't rise properly. So this time around, I had to warm my milk, added yeast and sugar, and allowed it to bubble for 5 minutes. Once the bubble is coming out, it's confirmed that the yeast is active. So after that, I poured it into a bowl. I added my egg. I added 1 egg. I added my butter. My salt. I mixed everything together. And then gradually I added my flour. I had to add it gradually because I want a really soft bread. I don't want the bread to come out hard, because if the flour is much, the bread is not going to be as soft as I want, because my kids are going to partake in this recipe. So gradually I added it. So I started mixing it, though it wasn't ready. I wanted to get to the kneading level before I stopped adding the flour. I mixed till at the mixing stage though, because at this point I wanted to start knitting, but I found out it was still very soft. And of course the surface I'm using is very clean, and my hands are clean too. So the bread, the dough is not to the knitting level at that point, but after adding the flour it was less sticky, so I started knitting. So this knitting needs consistency and patience. I knitted and knitted, but yet it wasn't ready. I knitted for about 7 more minutes, and then I had this. I dipped my hand inside, it came out naturally. So I allowed it to sit for 1 hour. I let it sit for 1 hour until it rose twice the size, or twice its original size. I oiled my hands, the sulfix, and I started knitting lightly this time around. I didn't want the whole bubbles inside it to come out, so I just knitted softly before I cut. So I was getting my knife to begin to cut it to the size I want. After cutting it, I folded it to this size and let it sit for 15 more minutes before putting it into the oven. So that's it. I have a very soft sweet bread, but at this point I added my butter because the surface was looking so dried out, so I had to add my butter so that the bread, the top of the bread will not turn out hard when it dries up. So after adding the butter, I covered it. But anyway, I still got the result I wanted. I got a very soft, sweet, less sugar bread. Let me know if you'll be trying this recipe. Thanks for watching.